Hi, fifth graders. Welcome to Test Questions, question number 1. This is the chart for question number 1. As you can see right here, our only directions are to fill in the chart. We have a column marked words, we have a column marked expressions, and we have a column marked the value of the expression. So if we look carefully at the words, we have things like 50 times the sum of 64 and 36. We have divide the difference between 1,200 and 700 by 5. We have the sum of 3 15s and 7 15s. 15 times the sum of 14 and 6. So we can see that we have things here that it's telling us what math we need to do, but it's using words instead of multiplication symbols or addition symbols or subtraction symbols or whatever. In the column expression, we see those numbers and those symbols, and then we see parentheses. Okay, and then the value expression, there's nothing. Before we move on, I want to take this opportunity to remind you that sum means the answer to an addition problem. Difference means the answer to a subtraction problem. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. Product is the answer to a multiplication problem. And whatever is in parentheses gets done first. So as we go back to these, in this expression, this would get done first, and then you would do this. Okay? In this expression, this would get done first, and then you would do this. To change the words into expressions, you're going to have to decide what gets done first and put parentheses around it, and what math are you actually being asked to do. There are only 4 types of math that we're dealing with right now: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So once you decide what math to do and what order to do it, then you just have to pick out the numbers. This column over here, the value of the expression, what that means is that we are just solving. We're doing the math that's here using the numbers and operational symbols and putting our answer here, or what that's worth once all the math is done. You could even start with the words and figure out what it means and put it over here. All right, let's take a look at an example. This says the sum of 3 16s and 2 9s. So when I look at this, I know that I've got sum, which means I'm going to have to add. So if I start my expression with add, because I've got sum, now I have to decide what am I adding. I'm adding 3 16s and I'm adding 2 9s. So I'm going to need a 3 and I'm going to need a 16. Well, if I really think about what 3 16s means, it would be a 16 and another 16 and another 16 all together. So 3 16s, well, it looks like I'd be adding 3 16s. A better way to do this would be to multiply. And because I have to add 3 16s and 2 9s, that means I have to figure out what is 3 16s before I can add it to the 2 9s. 2 9s is going to be the same thing. I'm not going to write a 9 and a 9 because I've got a 9 and a 2 in the problem. I'm going to have to multiply those just like I multiplied the 3 and 16. I'm going to have to do it before I add it to my 3 16ths. So this then is the expression. To figure out the value, I really do need to figure out what is 3 16ths. Okay, so I'm going to use a more efficient strategy of multiplying. So if I have 16 times 3, I'd have 18, 48. So this part of my expression is 48. And over here, 2 9s, well, that's a basic fact. That's a little bit quicker. I know that that's 18. And 48 and 18 added together, because again, we're finding the sum, would be the equivalent of 64. So 64 is what I would write in the value of the expression column. As we go back and we look at this table, make sure that you are thinking of a few things. What math is it asking me to do? Where do I need parentheses to show what's happening first? When you're solving it, make sure you solve the steps in order and that you solve them accurately. Good luck.